Hi, my name is Marco. Welcome to this month's monthly webinar. Today I'm going to take you through different features of our Clevertouch interactive display. I'm going to show you access to your cable connections on the screen itself, and I'm also going to show you access to your wireless screencasting, so you're able to screencast your device up to the Clevertouch screen itself. Now, another great thing that I'm going to take you through is the Lynx Whiteboard. The Lynx Whiteboard is the whiteboard app that comes with your Clevertouch interactive display. It's very useful in education, for teaching, and so on. So I'm going to take you through the different features of the Lynx Whiteboard as well. So what I currently have on the screen is called CleverLive. CleverLive gives us access to digital signage. So what I mean by that is digital signage where we're able to push out different welcome messages out to the screen and so on. To exit out of CleverLive, we can tap anywhere on the screen and this will take us to the home page of our Clevertouch interactive display. Now your homepage of your Clevertouch might be a bit different. It could be a blue background with two side arrows and a bottom arrow at the bottom of the screen. I'm currently using the newer version of the interface for Clevertouch, which is called the Tiramisu interface. So I'm going to slowly start going with the newer interface just so the newer customers are able to use Clevertouch and follow the session as well a bit easier. So as I mentioned, we do have cable connections on our screen. They can be found at the bottom top left side of the screen. As you can see, I have a Type-C connection and some USB connections as well. They can also be found at the back right side of the screen as well, where we have access to some HDMI cables, our DisplayPort cables, and so on the screen. Now to find access to those cables on the screen, we're able to tap on the little pencil icon. In here we have a menu. We're able to tap on the HDMI icon and this is going to bring up a menu for me where I can see all the different connections that I have here. So as you can see, I'm currently running the screen of Lux, which is the Android side of the screen. I'm able to choose a HDMI connection or a Type-C connection or DisplayPort connection as well on the screen. I can also adjust the brightness of the screen in those settings too. And I can adjust some display and some audio settings inside our settings in there as well. So as you can see, we have access to a few different apps in the middle, and then at the very top, we have an access to a code. Now this code will allow us to wirelessly screencast our device up to the board. So if I tap on the 6 kind of digit and letter code, I can tap on view the main interface, and this is going to open up this window for me. Now this is called CleverShare, and it allows us to wirelessly screencast our device up to the screen. Now we're also able to use the normal Miracast or Chromecast to wirelessly screen share our device up to the screen. Or what we can do is we can download the CleverShare app and use the app itself for wireless screen sharing. Now I currently have the CleverShare app downloaded on my device. I need to make sure I'm connected to the same Wi-Fi or the same network that my Clevertouch display is connected to. I need to make sure I'm connected to that same Wi-Fi on my own device. So as you can see, it tells me that I'm connected to Avia Wi-Fi above the 8th digit. So I'm going to type in the same code into my Clevershare app. And now I'm going to get a choice to either screen share or to desktop sync. So I'm going to take you through the screen share feature first. If I tap on screen share, I tap on start, and I can tap on mirror, and this is currently sharing my laptop up to the screen. So as you can see, I have two-way touch between the laptop and the screen as well, which means that I have no cables going from the laptop to the screen, and I'm able to navigate around my laptop directly from the Clevertouch screen itself. Now what we can do is we can cast up to 30 devices to the Clevertouch screen at the same time. If all those devices have the CleverShare app, we're able to do up to 30 devices to the screen at the same time. Now at the bottom left side, I have this arrow. I'm able to tap on the arrow. I'm able to bring that CleverShare window into a smaller window, and I'm able to move it around the screen as well. Now this could be very, very useful if, for example, we have our whiteboard open on the screen and we want to multitask. It's very useful for those features to be able to kind of minimize our screen sharing and to be able to have a whiteboard open on the screen at the same time. I can full screen it again then afterwards. I also get access to this little keyboard. This will bring in an on-screen keyboard for me, and it will allow me to type on my laptop directly from the Clevertouch screen itself. Now this comes in very useful. It stops us from having to walk back to our laptop and use the keyboard on our laptop to type on the screen. So I can use the on-screen keyboard and I can type Chrome, for example, and so on. Now next to that, I also have a sound icon. It allows me to mute or unmute the sound coming from the laptop up to the Clevertouch screen itself. And then I can use the little red icon to stop the screen sharing then afterwards. Now there is another way to screen share from our laptop up to the screen, and it's through a new feature called Webcast. As you can see, you can tap on Webcast. You do have to enable it, and then afterwards you'll be able to use the Webcast option to wirelessly screen share. Now, Webcast allows you to wirelessly screencast without a need of the Clevershare app. So as you can see, I have this kind of link here at the top. So if I type that link into my own device, into my own desktop, it does not work with mobile phones yet, but it will work with desktops like laptops and so on. If I type that code or that, link into my laptop, I'm able to start wirelessly screencasting through my browser then, instead of having to download the Clevershare app for it as well. Now, I won't have the two-way touch between my laptop and the screen, but at least it's a quick connection with no need of downloading any apps on the screen itself. Now, another option that we get inside the Clevershare app after we type that code in is called Desktop Sync. Now, Desktop Sync will allow me to wirelessly screencast the Clevertouch screen to my own device. So as you can see, I'm able to see whatever is happening on the Clevertouch screen on my own device here. And I'm able to actually enable two-way touch. So what that means is I can tap on the 6-digit code at the very top. I can tap on view the main interface. And in here, I can see the devices that are connected. So as you can see, my Avio.e Surface is using a desktop sync option. And then there's this little finger pointer tool that has kind of like a yellow tick next to it. So this gives me two-way touch between the laptop and the screen when I'm doing that desktop sync option. So what that means is I'm able to control the Clevertouch screen from my own device. So we can disable that option if we wish to do so. Now it does come in as disabled, just as default, but you are able to enable it yourself if you wish to do so. So that's some of the different ways that we can use Clevertouch for our screen sharing. Now I'm going to take you through the Lynx Whiteboard, and the Lynx Whiteboard is another app made by Clevertouch. With the Lynx Whiteboard, you're able to create a free Lynx Whiteboard account. Now the free Lynx Whiteboard account will allow you to connect it to your Google Drive or your OneDrive. Afterwards, you're going to be able to pull in different files from your OneDrive or your Google Drive straight into the Lynx Whiteboard. So I can tap on new to open up a new Lynx whiteboard file. At the bottom left side, I have 1/1. So these are different pages that I have inside my Lynx whiteboard. So I can tap on 1/1 to see all the pages created, and I can tap on add page to add multiple pages afterwards then onto it. Now at the bottom middle, I have a few other tools. So I have a finger pointer tool that's kind of like my cursor that allows me to navigate around the screen. It allows me to select different parts of the screen, move objects around, and so on. Next to that, I have this pencil icon. Now the pencil icon gives me access to, for example, an ink pen. So if I tap on that ink pen, it will bring up this menu that will allow me to adjust either the type of the pen, the size of the pen, or the color of the pen. Now, if I tap on that pen again there, it's going to bring up what I call a pencil case that gives you access to kind of more tools and more types of pens that you're able to use on the screen. So I'm going to show you each one of them. So I'm just going to grab one of the pens that I have. Now, as you can see, we have the ink pen selected, so I'm able to use the ink pen to now annotate on the screen. I also get access to a highlighter, so I'm able to use the highlighter to highlight different parts of the screen as well. I have a laser pen. Laser pen will disappear after a few seconds on the screen. Then we get some recognition tools that come with our Lynx Pro. So we have tools like the text and shapes, where I'm able to write on the screen. It will recognize my text and turn it into a certain font. We're also able to have different shapes, and it will recognize our shapes. And then we also have some maths tools where we can write a certain equation on the screen, and it will actually show us the answer for that equation on the screen then afterwards as well. Now we have a rainbow tool. This will change the color of the pen anytime you lift your finger or your pen off the screen. And we have a tool like an animated rainbow that will constantly change the color of that pen on the screen. So again, we're able to use different tools there, and we're able to play around with those tools and annotate with them on the screen. We also get access to a T letter. The T letter, once it's selected, I can tap on the screen. It will bring up my keyboard and it will let me type on the screen using my keyboard. Next to that, I have a paint pot. The paint pot will let me choose a certain color, and it will let me change the color of my background or of any tools that I have on the screen as well. I also get access to this plus icon. Now the plus icon gives me access to certain media features. So for example, I'm able to bring in different photos, GIFs, videos from different online sources. Now again, keep in mind you do need to have an account for that. So for example, at the top, I have a Google option. If I tap on Google, I'm able to search for different Google photos. So for example, we can look up map of Ireland. I'm able to find a certain map of Ireland that I like, and I'm able to drag and drop that map of Ireland then on the screen afterwards. I can move it around the screen and I can resize it as well. Afterwards, I can grab one of my pens and I can highlight different parts of that map as well, and so on. Now, if I tap on that Google icon again at the top left side next to my search bar, I'm able to go into my GIFs and I'm able to drag and drop different GIFs on the screen. So let's say we'll look up St. Patrick's. We're able to drag and drop different GIFs on the screen to keep it interactive for the students in our class. If I tap on that icon again next to the search bar, we also get a YouTube option. In here, we can drag and drop different YouTube videos on the screen and watch them directly from the Links whiteboard. Now, the reason why this could be very useful is because the YouTube videos will be cleared of ads before they're shown on the screen. So there won't be any ads before, during, or after that YouTube video, which means that the students in class will not see any ads from any brands on the screen itself. That's one of the great features there, where we can kind of use media and multitask on the screen at the same time. Now we also get an option for content. This will allow me to bring in different content for different subjects. So what that means is we have backgrounds here. If I tap on line paper, I'm able to drag and drop different line paper backgrounds onto the screen. Usually our Clevertouch screens, depending on the model, have 40 or 50 points of touch, which means that you are able to have up to 40 or 50 fingers on the screen at the same time, and the screen will be able to recognize all those annotations. So what that means is we can have one student at one part of the screen and another student at a different part of the screen, and they can annotate in the space that we have provided. Now, if the lines are too thin or if the lines are too thick, you're able to change the size of them by using this little icon in the very middle. You're able to resize the lines on the screen as well. If I go back into the plus icon and back into our content, if I go back to home here at the very top left side of the screen, I get access to different subjects. So for example, I can tap on maths and I can drag and drop one of the tools for maths on the screen. So as you can see, I currently have the ruler drag and dropped on the screen. I can use the blue and the red notch to measure and stamp different lines on the screen. I can also use different tools like an angle measuring tool, where I can measure different angles on the screen and so on. And we're able to move that around the screen as well. That's our different tools that we have in there. Now I'm just going to go over to the next page. If I hit the plus icon again and content, if I go back to home, again, we can find other subjects that we have in there like geography and so on, and we're able to drag and drop different weather conditions, for example, from geography on the screen, and move that around the screen as well. So you already have kind of some local content uploaded into there as well. And next to our content, we get access to shapes. In here, we can draw different shapes on the screen. So for example, we have a circle. We can select the circle and we can draw it on the screen. Now afterwards, we can tap on the little paint pot at the very bottom middle of the screen. We're also able to tap on that crop icon next to it, and then it's going to give us an option that says shape split. This will allow me to place my pen or my finger on that circle, and it will let me split it into different parts. So what I mean by that is I can lift my finger off the screen now and I have different parts of that circle out. Now I'm able to use this 90-degree angle to see the percentage, radius, angle, area, and so on of that part of the shape, and I'm able to move it around then afterwards too. We also get access to an AI assistant with our Links Pro. This will allow me to generate AI images, generate presentations, and so on, depending on the title and depending on the age group that we're looking to teach, and depending on the subject that we're teaching as well. So let's say we want to learn about Greek history for people that are aged 12 to 14. We're able to type that in, and it's going to create different presentations for us with different pages, start of the presentation, middle of the presentation, end, questions, and so on. It's a very useful tool if you do want to upgrade to the Links Pro. Now under there we have a page link option. This will allow me to link a certain page to my current page. So what that means, for example, is I can link page whatever, 1 or 2 to my current page, and then when I tap on that page, it will take me to that page then afterwards as well. Next to that, I have a table. For example, I can bring in a 5x5 table on the screen and so on. And then lastly, I have a browse option. I can tap on browse files, and this will allow me to browse different files from my cloud drive that I have connected to my Links account. Now to connect my cloud drive to my Links account, I can tap on the plus icon here. I can tap on manage cloud drives, and I can connect my Google Drive, OneDrive, or my Dropbox directly to my Links account. Now I can tap on that Google Drive here, and I can select any sort of file and bring it into the Links whiteboard. So for example, I have a PDF file here. So I'm after bringing that in, it's going to load it up for me there now. We'll give it a few seconds. So this file seems to be not going through for me. So we'll just go with a PNG file maybe. There we go. So for example, we have a PNG file here, so just a screenshot of a file, and there's the PDF file as well. So we're able to navigate around different pages of that file as well. Afterwards, we're able to take likes of our highlighter or of our pens, and we're able to navigate and write over that file as well. Now at the bottom right side, we have a undo and a redo tool as well. If we write over something and we just want to undo, we're able to do so. At the bottom left side, we have a 3-line menu. Here, we have an option that says share and print. This will allow me to share that presentation to my customer or my colleague via QR code. We also get an option that says save as. This allows me to save that whiteboard to my OneDrive. I can choose whether I want to save it as a links file or as a PDF file as well. And then I can name my file at the bottom left side of the screen too. So that's our Links whiteboard there as well. We're able to use it to teach in our class with it too. Now along the top, we get an access to a browser. So this is fairly straightforward. It's just our normal browser that we would be using on our own device as well, for example. Now if I tap on the little pencil icon, it gives me access to a few different tools. First tool is a lock button that allows me to lock my screen if I wish to do so. Under there I have a back icon or an arrow that takes me back out of different pages and so on. Under that I have a home icon that takes me to the home screen of my Clevertouch. Under that I have a HDMI icon. This will bring up a menu for me with different connections that I'm able to use on the screen. Under that I have a whiteboard icon that takes me to the default whiteboard of my screen. Under that I have 2 windows together, and that brings up different apps that are currently open in the background. There's a split option at the bottom that allows me to split screen, so that means that I can have 2 apps open on the screen at the same time, and I can use the little tool in the middle to resize those apps as well on the screen. I have a magnifying glass with a plus sign under that will allow me to zoom into different parts of the screen. I have a pencil icon under that as well. This will allow me to write on the screen using my pen. I can change the color of those pens by tapping on that pen icon. I can also use a highlighter, and I can highlight different features on the screen too. I can tap on that highlighter to change the color of the highlighter too. I can delete any of the annotations on the screen with holding my fist with my thumb towards me. That will recognize the side of my hand and it will allow me to delete any features on the screen. And then we have a few more other options in there for sharing those annotations on the screen with our colleagues too, and so on. Under that, we have a snipping tool. This will allow me to snip different parts of the screen. I'm able to insert that snip then afterwards into my whiteboard. And lastly, we have a spanner tool that gives us access to some timers and some stopwatches on the screen as well. So that's kind of like a quick toolbar that you will always have on the side of your screen, no matter if you're doing wireless, wired screen sharing, or if you're using just the normal Android system of the screen itself. Now to navigate to our apps, we can kind of put our finger in the middle of the screen and swipe up, and here it will give us access to the apps on the screen itself. Now, lastly, I just want to take you through the Clever Live Store. As you can see, we get access to the Clever Live Store. Now, this is on the older models of Clevertouch. The newer models will have access to the Google Play Store that will give you access to more apps on the screen. Now, inside the Clever Live Store, we're able to navigate around that store, or we can tap on the search bar at the top right side to look up any apps on there. Once we want to download a certain app, we tap on it and we just tap on install. That will install the app directly to the screen for us. And then when I swipe from the middle of the screen up, I will be able to find that app on the screen then afterwards. Now, for any questions or any further training regarding Clevertouch, feel free to contact us on sales@avio.ie or give us a call on 01 813 5588. Thank you very much for joining this month's webinar.